So in the Angel gradebook, we were able to take columns that had different total points allotted to them and put them all into a category and have them be equally weighted inside of that category. So you could have one assignment with 100 points, another assignment with 10 points, and then we could equally weight those so that they would be worth the same in an average column. We can do the same thing in Blackboard. There's a couple of different ways to accomplish it, but I think the way that I'm going to show you here today is the simplest kind. So I have a couple of columns here. I have a test column and a paper 1 column. The test column is a column that is worth 100 points maximum score, and the paper 1 column is 10 points maximum score. But what I want to have happen is I want to have the student score on this 100-point column and this 10-point column figure equally into their grade. So what I need to do to accomplish that is I first need to make sure that each assignment is in the same category. So each of these columns need to be in the same category. I can do that either by checking the properties on each one, or a little bit quicker way is just to go to column organization, and then I can check right here and I can see that both of these assignments are in the assignment category, and I'm gonna just take this other one here and change the category to a different category so that it's not figuring into our calculations anyway. So I have a 10-point column and a 100-point column here, but I'm going to weight them equally, and they're both in the same assignment category. So we're good to go there. Now the next thing that I'm going to need to do is to create a calculated column, and the type of calculated column that I'm going to use is an average column. So what I'll need to give this column a name, so I'll call this average of assignments. And I can choose what I want the primary display of this column to be. Percentage will work great for what we're doing here. And then what I'm going to do down here in the select columns is I'm going to choose selected columns and categories. And then you can see I can choose either individual columns or I can choose a category. And I need to choose the category that I have my columns assigned to, which is the assignment category. So I'll move that one over here. And now you'll see that in this average calculation, I have a couple of options. One, I can weigh the columns equally, or I can weigh them proportionally. So to achieve the result of having a 10-point column and a 100-point column equaling the or figuring into the student's grade equally, I want to choose this equally weighted columns option. You can see I also have some options for dropping grades. We won't deal with that today, but that is an option as well. And then I do have the option to calculate this either as a running total or as a building grade. So looking at the total overall points and looking at the student's current percentage based on what they've completed or based on the overall possible points. So running total is kind of the default way that Angel always functioned, and so we'll just leave it at that so we can kind of duplicate the way that Angel worked. Now I can go ahead and click on Submit. And so then here is my new average of assignments calculation. And as you can see, I have my test student here having scored 100 out of 100 on this, but only 2 out of 10 on this. But you can see the grade is not figuring the total overall points, it's instead figuring the individual percentage for each column here, and then taking that average and putting it over here. So I get a 60% grade, even though if we were to look at it from a points perspective, the total number of points possible between these two columns is 110, and this student achieved 102. So it would be more in the 90 some odd percent range if we weren't using the average column in this way. So that's how you can achieve that kind of a calculation in the Blackboard Learn gradebook.